Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Comica Boom XD wireless microphone system. Now this is the D2 kit. I'll get to what that means in a second. Roughly $250, $260 US for what I'm about to unbox, and it's aimed specifically at competing with the Rode Wireless Go, which is actually what I'm using right now and have been since its launch. A great piece of hardware, but now we're seeing more and more economical competing products that are in some ways more dynamic. So the D2 package gives you 2 microphones, 1 receiver. So ideal for those of you that are looking to capture multi-streams of audio. You can get this though with a single mic and single receiver, just like the Rode Wireless Go, and it does undercut its price. I think it's around 180 US, something like that. 2.4 gigahertz for those of you that are wondering. So it should be fairly clean. That doesn't mean that it cannot experience interference. I mean, much like the Rode Wireless Go, it can. In terms of what you're getting in the box, dual transmitters that communicate to 1 receiver, as I already mentioned, and you are getting lavs here. So 2 lavs are included, something you won't get with, of course, the Rode Wireless Go, again, that I'm recording this with right now. Readout is on the unit, all of the controls you'd expect in terms of gain, and then they do have different packages. I mentioned this is the D2. The D2 comes with 2 TX units. Those are the microphones you see right here, and 1 receiver, the RX. Now, you may have noticed they've got an MI-RX and a UC-RX. Those are designed for smartphones, so of course iOS and Android phones. So if you wanted to use this in conjunction with a phone, you can, and that's basically what all of these kits are. And some of them include 2 of the TXs as well as, you know, a pair or a single of, I mean, it's all listed right here, the optional kits. This is the one that was sent out to me, so this is what we're going to be looking at. I use a wide variety of different devices to capture audio. I have, you know, shotgun mics that I really enjoy using as well. There is a hole here. I will exploit it. Insert your joke. Well, that's maybe not too appropriate, is it? Because I don't really, yeah, no, let's stay away from that. I don't exploit things like that. Anyway, the whole idea here is that if we have a legitimate Rode Wireless Go competitor that is less expensive, and I think, you know, as far as the only thing that I'm aware of that this doesn't come with that the Wireless Go does is a carry case, which I've heard a lot of people complain about. I mean, come on, let's grow up a little bit. It's nice to get a carry case, but you're getting, at least if this has similar audio quality to what I'm using right now, getting a lot more for your money. This is going to permit me, if it works well, to maybe start doing some more creative things here on the channel, like interviews, like incorporating other people other than just me. And I think that's a good thing. And yes, I could do that with a shotgun mic, no question about it, but anything outdoors, environment, that all changes what you want to use, and obviously how flexible and feasible usability is going to be. So, transmitters right here. So that's one of the 2 microphones as I pry it out. And you can see it does have a built-in microphone, just like the Rode Wireless Go. I'm going to keep mentioning that because, again, this is directly aimed at it. And we do have the mic input as well as a locking system for the lav. So that's going to be easy, or, you know, a good way to keep your lav from disconnecting. I'll be interested to see what the quality is like on the included lav. Then we have our Type-C USB port for charging, reset button, and then a clip which can, of course, attach to a hot shoe on your camera of choice. Of course, you don't want to do that with the transmitter. You want to do that with this guy right here, the receiver. Now, the other transmitter obviously is identical to this, but the receiver is going to give you readout on each of these if you're using them simultaneously. It also, of course, is charged by a Type-C connection. I don't know what battery life exactly is going to be like. You also have a headphone jack, as you can see right there, for monitoring, as well as an out 3.5, also for sending signals out, which is a good thing. Reset button, power button, which also doubles, it appears, as a mute, and then A and B to monitor both levels from, I believe, each of the microphones. So looks good. Plastic build, but you know what? That's what all of these are made out of. These seem like they're actually a little bit smaller, a little bit longer, but a little bit more narrow than the Rode Wireless Go system. And again, that's going to be my point of reference, because when it comes to these sort of products, that's exactly what they're going for. The Rode Wireless Go has been wildly popular, and if you can make something better for less that's more has more utility, then what is there to even consider, right? So user manual, again, showing that alternate unit, which is designed for smartphones, which they could have sent me. I would have played with that too, but move away from the paperwork. Reset pin right there. Not a bad thing to have. That can also work, obviously, as a SIM ejecting tool. So I'll always welcome one of those. Not something I would buy, but something that God knows comes with enough products that I cover besides, well, not besides phones, but you know what I meant to say. Now in here, I'm expecting the lav. I'm expecting some 3.5 mil cables. Let's see. And while I would love to tell you I'll be doing a lot of outdoor testing with this, I'm still self-quarantining. I'm not crazy. I don't want to die. I don't want my friends and family. I don't want any of you to die. And please do the same. I mean, we can get through this, but there's one way right now to do that. All safety issues aside, this is the lav. And as you can see right there is that locking mechanism that I was talking about. So let me put this down. This is the other lav. So 2, which makes sense. We have 2 microphones, right? So really straightforward. You're just going to plug this into the 3.5 mil jack right there, and just give this a little pressure so that it clips in. And now that's going to basically be your insurance policy that this is not going to DC, disconnect on you while in use. And I think that's smart that they did that. You know, don't pull cables like this, please. You'll ruin them. I don't want anyone to think that that's standard practice for me. What I'm going to be most interested in is the quality of the built-in mic, not the lav, because the beauty for me of these sorts of systems, let's see if I can disconnect. That took a lot of effort with squeezing. It's like basically child-proofing or ed-proofing in this case. That's going to be the most important thing to me, because I don't really want to use a system like this with a lav. It's a bit of redundancy. We're getting into then using, you know, basically just smaller versions of what has always been around on the same spectrum. Last but not least, I'm assuming we've got some charging hardware, because we do have to charge these bad boys up, right? Oh, and some little dead cats, which, of course, you're going to want. Oh, and some more cables. I mean, whoa, I underestimated the balance of the contents. So let's take a look. So the dead cat on the Rode Wireless Go is a bit of a pain in the ass. It pops off really easily. I'm hoping that Comica did a better job. Let's take a look. Okay, so with the Rode Wireless Go, you've got a little metal clamp. This is appears to be some kind of rubber you know, mold essentially to get on there. Let's see if I can make this happen. So it's the exact same shape, and that's it. So yeah, definitely a lot easier than what I've experienced with the Rode Wireless Go. I mean, the Rode Wireless Go, the dead cat, has just 2 little metal clips, and I don't want to say wind could blow it off, but it pretty much could. This, fairly secure. You know, it will take you pulling it off. I can't tell you how many times I go to put on my Rode Wireless Go for recording here on the channel, and the dead cat just pops off as I'm attaching it, you know, wherever I'm putting it on body, my clothing, obviously. So this I actually really like. Very simple to put on. I don't know how much easier this could be to apply. I mean, pretty much idiot-proof. And then another dead cat in here. So I will put that through the pace. It looks like this is a Type-C cable. It is. I'm not going to even bother opening up. We know what that's for. It's for charging. And now we've got our monitoring cables. So let's open that up. See if I can get a good seam here. And I mean, this is already a lot more hardware than you're going to get from Rode, even though, again, Rode has been my choice. So some monitoring hardware here for output. That's what this appears to be to me. And it looks like this is exactly the same cable. We've got another one. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. They're just making sure that you've got all of the applicable 3.5 mil cables that you would need for monitoring output, etc., and using your own microphone in the event that you want to. You certainly have that option, as I've mentioned. You do not need to use this lav. I'm expecting decent performance though from it, because it would kind of defeat the purpose of the entire kit. Now, they only included one Type-C cable for charging, but I don't see that as a big deal, because right now the way I charge my own, the Rode Wireless Go is basically using different, I don't use the Rode included cable. I use you can't use high wattage Type-C chargers. Well, sometimes you can, it depends. They kind of pick and choose with a lot of these Type-C connections what they'll accept in terms of the wattage, but I use ones for my, different Type-C devices, aka smartphones, tablets, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I've got enough of those around the house and on the go that I'm never searching, and with power bricks, so I'm not really concerned about this. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what battery life is like. It's going to be interesting to see what overall quality is like. But that is pretty much it. I mean, again, these are the Comica Boom XDs, and this is the D2 package, because we do have 2 transmitters, and again, no matter what kind of shooting you're doing, if you need 2 streams, 2 microphones to 1 receiver, and on a budget, I mean 250, 260 US, unless the audio quality is awful, this is going to be really hard to beat. Because as much as I like the Rode Wireless Go, this, as I've said through the course of this video, which was supposed to be quick, it seems to be a more dynamic solution in just about every way. I'll be testing it soon, comparing it, and I'm going to pull this off right now, excuse me, so you can just see. This is what I've been recording with, the Rode Wireless Go, and my audio is, of course, going to drop off, but here is the side-by-side. The Rode Wireless Go is smaller, as I said, in terms of height, but when it comes to the actual width, this is the more narrow of the two. Thickness is about the same. And there is that awful dead cat, as I was saying. I think this design, it at least looks better, and the ease of getting it on and off, certainly, and also it being more secure, seems to be better in just about every way. And this is also probably a very solid solution to creating a little microphone, which you can do already with the Rode Wireless Go just by, attaching something to it. So I think, meaning like an actual field mic. You could even go as far as turning this into a boom if you wanted to. I don't know that that has anything to do with the name, but in a way this can replace a boom system if you use it appropriately, since you have multiple microphones. See what I'm going with there? Anyway, that covers it. Again, the Comica Boom XD D2 package. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. And please stay safe. Later.